every episode, I'm gonna do this for me. This is gonna be great.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Chris, we checked to see if we're live.
I'm on the page now. It says we're coming up. Yeah, we're live. We're good.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Batyards Finest, the podcast that takes you on an exhilarating journey through the realms of human excellence, exploring the extraordinary achievements and stories of remarkable individuals who have defied the odds and left an undeniable mark on the world. Join us as we delve into the lives of visionaries, trailblazers, and pioneers, uncovering the secrets behind their success and the challenges they overcame to reach the pinnacle of their field. Hosted by a team of passionate storytellers, Batyards Finest goes beyond the surface, peeling back the layers to reveal the raw and authentic narratives that shaped these exceptional figures. Whether it's an inspiring athlete who conquered the impossible, an innovative entrepreneur who disrupted entire industries, or an influential artist who touched the hearts of millions, each episode immerses you in the gripping tales of triumph against adversity through in-depth interviews, captivating anecdotes, and meticulous research. We bring you the untold stories that highlight the power of resilience, perseverance, and unyielding passion. Our goal is to inspire, motivate, and empower our listeners by showcasing the human potential for greatness and reminding them that with dedication and determination, they too can make a difference in the world. So get ready to embark on an unforgettable audio adventure as we traverse the landscapes of achievements and unlock the secrets of greatness. Welcome to Batyards Finest, where extraordinary stories are brought to life, igniting your own potential and leaving you inspired to reach new heights. I'm Jerry, your Green Lantern from OA. And as always, I have a wonderful cast of hosts with me.
Wow.
That was
For our audio listeners, that's going to sound really good.
Yeah, Matt, say your name.
I was giving Jerry a second there. Hey, I'm Matt from Gotham. How you guys doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm Josh from finishing off the Exorcist episode. So I'll explain what happened last episode while we get into that. But Jerry, can you explain how you got that intro?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep it a secret.
Okay. It's a secret. Off camera. The off camera secret.
Oh.
Oh
man.
So a lot has happened. So let me explain what happened last episode. We'll just start with that. So we're doing the Exorcist last episode. Of course, you know, all this happened during the Exorcist episode. So it's haunted. It's a haunted movie, and it haunted my computer. So while I was in the middle of like talking about the movie, I got a little excited. I got a little Italian in my blood, so I was moving my hands. And of course, I had a beverage next to my computer, and I was moving my hands, and I hit the beverage. The beverage went all over the computer, and then the computer fried. It was done. That was the enemy of what happened on the podcast. So that's why I burned out. I fizzled out. And then these two fine gentlemen were continuing on, marching on through the trenches, and then the whole movie, the movie's haunted, and it haunted our podcast. So if you're ever going to do a podcast about the Exorcist, be wary, because it might break your computer.
That is insane.
So that's what happened. So I just wanted to explain that. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I know the extended edition.
You probably see it in the episode. I'm like this. I don't know. I'm gonna edit both of these together, and then we'll make it like one whole conjoined episode.
We're gonna confuse somebody. We're gonna confuse them in the middle with another intro.
People. Yeah,
it's gonna be a little confusing. We'll make it work.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to
explain. Do 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. We had a lot going on. I was a little busy, but during that period of our hiatus, Jerry and I got to meet him in the flesh for the very first time. I got to see him in his his town in Nashville, and it was a beautiful time. I really thoroughly enjoyed Jerry and his hospitality and showing me and my brother around, and I want to thank you for that.
It's no problem. I definitely all the places I took you to are the same places I'm going to take Matt to when he comes down. Except, I'm going to add in some more places because, I know you were here for another event, so we only had, the one night to get together.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot more places, that I know both of you guys would love to pieces and just really see the full experience in Nashville.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool city. It's music everywhere. And if let me know when you invite Matt because I definitely want to come down again. No, that was a fun time. So it will good. It'll be good to get. It'll be good to get the three of us together in one area. Matt had Jerry time. I had in New York City. I had Jerry time in Nashville. So we're gonna put Nashville and New York City and smash them into one city.
We're gonna make some success happen when we do it. I guess we could go live on Instagram and do, I guess, an impromptu Q&A or just a vlog. I guess
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. No,
that would be great.
Good idea.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Well, Matt, I know you had something you wanted to add. You had some BS or
something. I know Jerry had stuff first. Let's go. He has stuff that's more related to what we're talking about.
All right, yeah.
So, we do small talk off screen where we just always, check up on each other and everything. And, I just brought up the question, do you guys, if everybody wanted to just share, little small tidbits of news, because like Crispy said, I have one thing that relates to the movie, which is there was, I guess, a cinema convention within the last 3 weeks. And while that was going on, they announced that they're going to be doing 3 more Exorcist movies relating to the original. And I guess they're going to be kind of prequels, sequels, and just fit in various places. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to fit into the Exorcist timeline, but we are getting 3 more Exorcist movies.
It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel on that because, like, we had Exorcist 1, we had the Exorcist, we had Exorcist 2, we had a third one, and then we went off track to the branches,
spin-offs.
Yeah, spin-offs and everything. That technically have, I think 2 of them have true stories attached to it that's additional movie cinema additions to it, making it more crazier, but it's just, I don't know if I really gonna like that because how do we continue off the first movie if we're gonna just retcon the other 2 movies that actually explain the demon?
Oh, so it's gonna erase the sequels?
That's what it sounds like. But
I don't know. I've tried to find more information, and nothing's been written in concrete yet.
So
I know for me, I'd like more information about the demon. I haven't watched The Exorcist 2.
The second one's where we get more than information. That's where we get it, and we figure out how to get I believe it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's basically how we basically get rid of it in a way. But the third one, I think that's the weakest link out of the trilogy, I believe, of the main 3. You can kind of retcon, I think. I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen the sequels in forever. And I believe you can retcon that one out. But I would keep the second one. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it has iconic actors and every in it. So it makes sense to keep it. But I don't know.
I heard the third one's actually pretty good. I heard the third one's actually decent.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I haven't seen the sequels.
I've only watched the first one, and I'm still just as terrified as I was when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, Jerry recommended Exorcist, and this was the first time. No, actually, no. It's the second time I finished it. It's been the last time I watched it was high school, so
probably the only one I third. But
no, I definitely agree with you, Matt. I'm excited to see what they do to expand the universe. maybe we'll get kind of a prequel movie, like, oh, maybe this demon has, an attachment to the family or something like that.
No,
Or,
I would
just
be interested in
something.
Pazuzu and like Iraq, like how they open the movie.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do a prequel
It's
or something.
the
I
the
could see that.
way the second one is sets up. They tell you what's up with the creature and how they get rid of it, and how this one tribe, voodoo witch doctor tribe, I believe, that James Earl Jones is part of. How his tribe got rid of it a long time ago, like how
Man,
they
you kind of sound like a
banished it.
robot for some reason.
Do
I
I?
don't know. Yeah, you sound it right now. Go
I
ahead.
don't
Sorry.
know, but yeah, like it's I don't know, like they explain it in the second one how they banished him and where he kind of like became he became a thing. Like they kind of like the tribe that James Earl Jones is from, like kind of fought it years ago.
Hmm.
So they kind of give you details, I believe, in the second one about it. I'm digging up old memories, but it's because like it's been like what 10 years I think now. So I think I
We can
saw
do
this
a
when I was like
continuation episode
18.
and figure it out.
Yeah, I think. Well, who's in charge of this? Like this new Exorcist?
I'd have to go back and find it. I don't remember a director or a producer name. One of them I did recognize, but like I said, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to, hold up too much time. I know
Mm.
Matt had something he wanted to share.
So I don't know if we're done on the topic yet, but are you guys all done with this one or?
Yeah, I just wanted to, make
Okay.
mention, let everybody know we might have more Exorcist episodes coming soon, and I might be sleeping with the nightlight on.
I can imagine. Jesus Christ. No, it's like no. We will have more Exorcists. There's a lot more Exorcist movies out there.
We're only going to talk about the good ones.
Like the best one was supposed to be like the Exorcist Emily Rose, I believe. That was supposedly
That
one
one
of
was
the
pretty
best.
good.
I
I
don't know.
watched that
It
on
just felt
Netflix.
that one felt off. I felt like the trailers kind of misled me. I felt because I thought it was gonna be more demonic, but it didn't feel that demonic to me when I was watching it. But whatever. But I kind of like to get off topic of. Well, I did see. Speaking about Exorcist, I did remember this. I did see the Pope's Exorcist. It's a decent movie. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it was something. It was actually not horrible. It's gonna be like a trilogy. Like it feels like they're trying to make it a franchise in a way because how it ends is like kind of like Men in Blacky or like Hellboyish kind of vibe. How they have like a precinct of like exorcists in this movie. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird feel. It depends on like how you feel about like if you're super serious and like horror, it wouldn't be your thing, definitely. But this is like it has like horror to it. It's not overly the top like it's gonna scare you. It did a decent job at what it was going for, but it wasn't meant to be super fucking serious of a movie. And I don't think it has any real ties to legitimate true story. So there's actually a couple here in the locations that I still need to look into that are where they filmed, like where they believe they filmed at. But it wasn't horrible. I give it at least a 7. But
Okay.
what's it called? But better news, the better thing I want to talk about, other than that movie, is Indiana Jones 5, guys. I heard rumors that supposedly this movie's like it's out there. This movie's about time travel. But I heard
Terrible.
supposedly this movie's supposed to like erase Indiana Jones and add in the girl that's supposed to be traveling with him, his goddaughter. It's supposed to take
Yeah,
place.
I'm not hearing great things about this movie, to be
And
honest.
yeah, supposedly she's supposed to take his place in history and do the things he did in his other movies, basically erasing him out of like Indiana Jones history. Supposedly
0 out of
retconning the
10.
movies.
Don't recommend.
So I'm
That's terrible news. Why would you disappoint me like that?
Yeah, why did you
I just
tell us
wanted to
this?
bring it up, see if you guys heard it. I want to know. Have you guys
didn't
heard
hear
this?
I know.
anything.
I haven't really been paying too much attention because I know it's like Kathleen Kennedy's behind it, and she ruined the new Star Wars. So like I just don't. I'm gonna,
Star Wars.
if you're gonna ask me, I'm probably gonna watch the movie, but like I don't have any high hope for it. I might.
I'm
I
gonna
probably
wait for
won't
it to
even pay
come to
money to
Disney
watch it.
Plus.
Well, I
Yeah,
heard
that's kind of where
rumors.
I'm at.
I heard another rumor is that if Kathleen Kennedy does not at least make a decent like income from this movie, that supposedly she's getting booted from this. But that's another rumor. But that because of the Star Wars boot up, that it got probably canceled out because she's running the fucking new Star Wars somewhat franchise that's supposedly activating again for the new trilogy. A crap.
Well, let's talk about something much more interesting because I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks
Yeah, I
a
don't want
lot.
to think. I don't want to think about any of that. So I just wanted to mention it's. I watched 2 movies in the theaters. I watched the new Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Rise. I think it was a good movie. I did enjoy it. There's no Bruce Campbell in it. I know he produced it along with Sam Raimi, and they had a new director involved. But like I like how the setting was different from the Cabin in the Woods, so it was a good switch up. Also, I saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I do recommend seeing that as well. So I just wanted to
I've heard
let you
nothing
know.
but
I
good things
heard a
about
lot of
the
good
Guardians.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think it's going to be the last one. Yeah, I think people should go and see it.
Definitely the last one with James Gunn.
What's that?
Definitely the last one with James Gunn.
Yeah, well, he's doing Superman Legacy and all the DC stuff, and I guess Superman Legacy is set to film in January of next year, and then it's set to be released July 11th, 2025.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I heard they got the screenplay in before the what's it called the
strike.
The strike that's happening with the writers. So I heard they got lucky with that.
Yeah, they have the whole writer's strike and everything. Yeah, I mean, I guess James Gunn's writing it, so I don't know if he's a part of that strike or what.
I don't.
Seth MacFarlane's a part of it.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
No, I saw
Christian, how do
photos.
you
He's
feel about
out
Seth
there.
MacFarlane?
He's okay. He's not He's not terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Is everything nowadays for was it Family Guy and everything else he's writing is kind of stale now. So it's like he's not. He's like his shows are now getting stale, but he does come up with some funny things. But to me,
I think he should stop writing.
Hey, he's got enough money, so he can. But like that's like my thing is like if he's at the strike, I'm not trying to be an ass about this, but he's got enough money not to be there because he made so much shit. But if he's supporting the other writers out there, it's good for him. I guess some of them are probably his friends.
Mm-hmm. I think it's commendable that he's taking a part in the strike to say, hey, writers deserve as much respect and credibility as everybody else, because writing a show is not easy.
No.
Writing anything is not easy.
Not.
But I'm glad we touched on that because I've been looking more and more at the writer's strike, and I'm like, I've been thinking to myself, it's so just awful how they're treating this, and they're making it sound like it's not a big deal.
I haven't been really following it, but
I've just looked lightly into it.
Like I haven't,
I haven't followed too much of it. The only thing I know is like the Tim Daly sketch that they did. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was pretty funny with the Daily Show.
But
basically the sketch was like they were saying like, we're actors, we can't say anything until this like this writer strike's over. So that was pretty funny. Like,
we're stupid, we can't do nothing, we
can't paper. Talk until this is over.
We dumb.
But you guys ready to move on to The Exorcist?
Yeah, I'm ready. As ready as I can be. Hopefully it doesn't break another computer.
I'm still stuffing my craw, so Josh, I want you to take point for the plot of and quick synopsis of The Exorcist.
Okay. Hold on, like I'm messing with the background right
What
now.
are you doing?
I don't know why it looks like that. I don't want that. Okay, so we're gonna look like this for a little bit. So
Jerry, you gotta stop it on your face. And Josh, get something out of your mouth, okay?
So
don't let the Tracy.
No.
So The Exorcist is a 1973 film, directed by William Friedkin, and it was originally a book, starring Linda Blair, who is a little girl who ends up being possessed by the devil, or I guess one of the devil's underlings, Pazuzu. It's never really fully stated if it's a demon or the devil itself. Linda Blair plays Regan. Her mother is, on the mist, freaking out, like doesn't know what to do. Is it her mental state? Is it she's just like going through a psychotic breakthrough or a psychotic break, or is it something a little bit more demonic? And you kind of slowly go through the different motions, like going through the mental ward, going through eventually going through a number of priests and going like, well, this is your daughter's actually possessed. And I like how they do the progression where you could kind of question it. You don't know if she's fully out demon or if it's
Looney Tunes.
Some psychotic. So that's basically the movie, and they're going through a bunch of different priests and exorcisms to kind of figure out what exactly is wrong with Linda Blair. Let me fix this border now.
A border is so much more important.
Yeah, this is gross. I'm not a fan of this.
Hey, stop it, you. You don't know where it's been.
There we go. But this movie still scares the crap out of me, even to this day. Because when I had watched this when I was younger, me and my brother jumped in toward the tail end of the movie to when the demon was taking over more so, and it was toward the final stages before everything was kind of said and done. But just watching the progression of, she's just kind of having a little bit of trouble sleeping at night. Her dad's kind of a deadbeat. He's off doing God knows what, and then doesn't make time to call her on her birthday. And she finds this Ouija board, and she talks to this spirit, this ghost, Mr. Howdy, I think it was, or something.
Oh yeah, it was like it was Mr. Howdy, because it reminded me of Howdy Doody, and she was talking through it like on the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it just definitely watching the movie from start to finish, I have a better appreciation for it, because it is a buildup. It's very slow, but when things just explode, boy, does it just take off. Especially so I was doing my research into the movie, and you guys know the scene where she's laying in bed and it's just flipping her back and forth.
Yes.
Her screams during that was very real, because like she was in physical pain from just how hard she was being tossed and jostled around. And I think, when she was saying like mother like help me and stuff, they had to re-record it because she was just in so much just agony.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I did hear about that. They had like some rig on her and like you couldn't tell if it was real or not. Just kind of like the first Jaws victim in the first movie when she's kind of like getting rigged around and like sliding around like by the buoy and everything. It's almost kind of like a similar situation where they didn't know if the actor was in pain or not.
But another thing that I've definitely enjoyed as a takeaway from the movie, you're watching not just one person dealing with, something that would be considered, demonic. Obviously the daughter, she's being possessed by a demonic spirit. But you're also dealing with the priest, Damien, whose mother, she had, fallen. I think she had some form of dementia or Alzheimer's. And, she was taken to a psych ward. And, back in the 70s, a psych ward was basically, a death sentence because of how they treated everyone. And then, he was just blaming himself and beating himself up, saying, I should have been there for my mom. I've lost my faith. I should have, moved her closer. I should have been, I should have done more. And he just was, his guilt and, his inner demons of failing to provide for his loving mother were just eating him up inside, which, the demon used as fuel to just kind of taunt him, saying, your mother's in here with us. And just saying, well, I can't remember the nickname his mom called him. I think it was like Demi or Demi, or it was, she had an accent, so it was kind of hard to understand at times. But it was, he was still trying his best to keep everything together and not be, taken into the tauntings of something that wasn't there. Did you have something you wanted to add, Matt?
Not really that. You said it pretty well.
Yeah.
It was a
sorry. I'm trying to fuck with the settings right now. I miss our border from like the other episode, so I'm trying to find if I can put that.
Oh my god.
Oh no,
so
that's totally fine.
For me,
I just wanted to mention what's his name, the Lieutenant Kinderman who has the hat and he has the mustache.
Yeah,
he's talking to the first father. The actor is Lee J. Cobb, and he is an actor in another movie that we watched previously on one of our earlier episodes. And I was wondering if you guys caught that at all. I was looking at that guy. I was like, he looks very familiar. I don't know what he's from. And then I had to look him up. I'm like, oh, he's Lee that J. guy. Cobb. Okay.
Was he from Cool Hand Luke?
No, it's close. It's close though. He was in On the Waterfront. He was on the waterfront.
Yes.
He was a big like crime lord who owned the dock and everything.
On the wharf,
like, putting everyone through hell. So
okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to mention that. Round of
That's cool.
Lee Cobb, Lee J. Cobb is the actor's name. Yeah, I was trying to pull up a picture.
He went from being a slime ball to a cop.
Yep.
It's perfect.
A nice transition.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to see another the actor from a Batyards past,
That is cool. We've had another tie-in like that before, haven't we?
I think so. Yeah,
I think we had a few.
Either with like a actor, director, or like a producer. I can't remember what, but I know we've had a few.
I think you're hitting all the marks with that one.
Yeah.
We have had movies done by we all shared movies done by the same directors or some producers that actually made them, and actors that showed up in it.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, Crispin.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know I probably have the most to say because I have so much history with this movie. So I'm not gonna try to overstep on other people. That's all I was gonna say.
All right. I kind of like in the last podcast, I kind of said mostly everything that I wanted to say about it. So it's kind of like gonna be hard to step back on it because
I just know they had a lot. They had a lot of issues on set with this movie. Like it's been a while since we watched it, so we're kind of rusty. Like in my memory banks, anyway. But I remember there was a lot of things that happened on set. Like family members were dying. I think like the guy with the priest who falls down the stairs. Apparently, he died like a couple weeks after, or something like that.
Yeah, he did.
I thought it was Poker. Wow.
Poltergeist?
Yes, I thought that was that.
No, well, I mean, a lot of things happened on that movie too, but like it was like that, The Omen, and this, like a lot of things happened like after filming or during filming. I forget which it's one. It was one of the priests who falls down the stairs. I think. He passes away.
Yeah.
Like I have to look up his name.
Well,
but I just want to say it's like one of these movies that kind of has the bad omen, like breaking computers.
I'm just trying to think, like the other priest that falls down the stairs.
It's the main one. That's a
the main one I know. There's another.
No,
guy
it's not that. It's not the main one. It's like it's a different one.
The mother's boyfriend. Didn't he fall down the stairs?
The creepy old dude. Well, he got pushed while the daughter was possessed.
Yeah, he's the other guy that died.
The priest whose mother died, he jumped out and fell down the stairs. And then the older priest who had that heart condition,
he
the
died
ghost
in the
just
house.
kind of he died in the house because the demon put him in cardiac arrest.
She just stopped him.
Yeah, it's Ron Faber. He wait, no. It's saying this is different date. I don't know. I might have got the name wrong, but someone died. So. I don't have it right. I'm like on the tip of my fingers right now.
Someone died, damn it! Someone died. So that.
This is that movie. This is like the what happened on set though. Like a lot of bad kind of juju. But like it was originally initially a book, and then they transcribed the book into the screenplay, and then went off making the movie. And the way they achieved the like spinning of the head of the Regan was that they made an animatronic Regan, and like the head would do a whole 360, and they kind of used the hair to kind of cover the seam of the head. And I guess the guys, the set designers, they were like driving around the city. I think they filmed this in Washington, D.C. They filmed it in Washington in like another location, but they're driving around the mannequin around and like seeing like what people's reactions were going to be, and they're like spinning it around in the back of the seat of the car, and then they saw like the initial reaction of people like jumping out of their skin, like what the hell happened. And this movie had like that big experience, like going in theaters. Like it made people like faint in theaters. They were like, I think people were throwing up. Like a lot of people had like visceral reactions to this movie because it was like that scary and that messed up. And like when Regan takes the cross and is like stabbing herself, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like hard to watch today. Like I can't imagine how this was like back in 1973, especially like where it was happening. You know,
I'm not gonna lie,
religious aspects.
I didn't like a lot of things that was happening in that movie. I give this movie really good props of like because they did such a good job doing the like storytelling and how the effects were done, but I did not like anything that was happening because it was just unsettling at most times.
Oh, definitely.
The one thing the other stuff that I did not like was the psych ward stuff with the kid. I did not like seeing the kid going through the psych ward stuff. I was not happy with that.
Like I watched other 70s horror movies that involve psych wards, and it just like, and knowing the truth about how psych wards were back in the day, it just adds to the God. This is just like they pushed just so many buttons with this movie and it just turned into such a phenomenon. There's not even a proper word to describe.
It was like a
this
phenomenon,
movie,
yeah.
because there's no other movie like. Well, I'm not gonna say there's no other, but there's not a movie that I can think of currently that has still done as much as this one.
It's like, I don't know, nowadays, like, it's like with movies nowadays, there's so much CGI and all the additional shit that doesn't help with it. Like, it adds, but it doesn't help anymore because it kind of takes away from it. But like this one, you have so much practical because the time era, like the era it was in, that it gives it more the realistic feel. Because I will just watch something like, oh, they had a green screen, they had this, and then if you're just watching this, I'm like, no, most of that's fake and fucking fake. Like, I mean, all that's real. All that's mostly real because of how they had to be with that shit.
Yeah, because I talked to my old mentor that taught me how to run mail. Like I call him, a few times a week, just check on him, and just have a chat with him. And it was one day, I called him and he asked me. He said, "What are you doing, my adopted son?" I told him, "Oh, I'm getting ready to watch The Exorcist." And he said, he just was telling me, man, it was his older siblings. They had went to go watch that movie. And he was saying like that movie scared them half to death when they had watched it originally in theaters. And I'm getting a secondhand account. So, there's no telling, how freaked out or how just unnerved they might have been watching it back in the 70s, and just in that theater with everybody else just having that same oh God, what is just not knowing what's going to happen next. Because back then I couldn't have imagined like, oh, this girl's gonna, start telling people, you're gonna die, and come here and let me do this fellatio to you, pretty boy, and
really,
saying slurs and just all these different things, and it's just. And I know especially, this movie didn't have, there was only like 2 Black actresses who were supporting roles in the psych ward. But it was like, I was looking into the reception of it. It was so just vastly received in, African-American and Black communities that they were just going like in droves to go see it because, this was like the It movie when it was released that everybody had to go see it.
Yeah, and it came out during Christmas too, which is an odd kind of time of the year to like release this movie.
Merry
you can see Halloween. Yeah, really.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Killmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, I should have saved that. Hey,
no.
Sarah Jessica Parker. No, Amanda, scratch that in post. We're gonna save that for the Christmas episode.
Sorry, I'm playing around this setting.
But there's just like the more I looked into the just reception, and even today, how much people have fallen in love with this movie. It's just astonishing to say the least. There's because
Wait,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say because I know the only other movie that I could think of, like that's been done within the last 10 years that I would say is not so much on par, but just kind of that same effect was the remake they did of Stephen King's It. The first one, not the second one. Because God, I wish I could remember the actor's name who plays Pennywise the Clown. But that
Bill
it's Scars. It's something.
You're close. You're saying it right. You're saying almost right.
Skarsgård.
Yep.
Yeah, like he did a phenomenal job, and I have friends like say, "Oh, let's go rewatch it," and I'm like, "No, thank you," because it, I know, if the point of it was like, oh, it plays on people's fears, and that's how it, feeds and all this other stuff. I'm like, That's great. Somebody has the same fear as me, and I don't want to look at that on screen and be tortured again.
Yeah, I can't blame you. I can't. I mean, it's a well-made movie. I only seen it the first time in theaters. I never seen the second one.
Like with that movie, I did not really need to see it more than once.
Mm-mm.
I personally I've watched the original one multiple times. That one I was like, I like
The
it.
Tim
It's
Curry
not
one.
yes. I've seen that one and I'm like, I like it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say it's like a bad movie. It's a really good movie. It's just like I don't know. I never had the feeling just going back and seeing it. It was like it's fine seeing it once for some reason with me. I did see the second one. The second one wasn't bad. It just has a lot more changes from the book to keep up with. I heard it was like certain things got changed in the book to work with the times it was at now. Like it was like for it, like where it was in like whatever time period they're going with in the later in the movie. I forget what year what they're trying to go with. I forget. It's been a while
It
since
was the 80s. It was 89 because I remember they had the Batman. They're playing Batman in the background.
when they were grown ups.
No, the first one. I don't remember when they were
That's what I'm
grown-ups.
thinking of the second one. I forget. I know they changed certain things to go with the time period with that stuff, but it wasn't a bad movie though. But
Yeah.
I was thinking like something that kept up to par with like kind of Exorcist stuff was what's
Don't
it
say
called?
Paranormal Activity.
No, no. They couldn't even follow their own fucking story right with that camera shit. No, I was thinking of the Haunting Connecticut. The
Oh
one with
yeah.
I never seen that.
you never seen those?
No.
They're not the first one I like the most, but
Yeah, the
the other
first one's
ones
definitely the best one.
that one's the best one, but the other ones kind of just more fall off. Like
They
the
just kind
second
of fall
one,
flat.
yeah, then there's spin-offs and the spin-offs kind of like get more flat. I know Insidious they're actually I heard 1 to 2 actually are really good movies.
The first
And
one is an absolute phenomenal piece of cinematography. That thing still scares me to this day.
well, The Exorcist still scares you too. So
Yeah,
The Exorcist is a scary movie. Like it
is.
was
I'm not
considered the
no, it
scariest
is.
movie. Like it's still considered the scariest movie ever made. It like really depends on the question is, do you believe in the devil? And like you see the this sweet innocence of this little girl, like you see her as a normal girl, like what caring, loving with her mother, and then like her evolving into this demonic creature. And I like how they didn't go so over the top with like the makeup effects. Like it's just like she's like
it's just
scratched up and kind of
enough.
yeah, it's just enough where she could still be human and like you could still question it. It was like, oh, is she
It was
just sick
more
or is she actually like taken over by a demon? And it took me two times to finish this movie. Like I was watching it at home with my mother, and I was like, "This is not a movie my mom's going to be into at all."
oh
Like,
god.
I was watching it, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And then, fast forward, I watched the second half with my brother-in-law, and he was really into it, and especially like the ending where it's like it's very intense. I like how it's like a slow burn, it's like a slow build up into like the explosive ending at the end, where the older priest he's in the middle of this exorcism, he passes on because it's like too intense for him because his body basically gave out, and then the younger one, like basically sacrifices his body to be possessed by the demon, and then that's when he jumps out the window. And I was like, it's very intense. And then like his friend comes down the stairs and his body's laying there, and he's just like crying to himself, like, I can't believe my friend has passed on. It's a very intense movie. I've
Yeah.
never seen the sequels, but this is a movie I enjoyed now. I appreciate it more now than I did when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I didn't really appreciate it. I seen the images of Reagan, and I heard like the hype behind it. Like it was supposed to be the scariest movie ever. And I remember when I was watching it, I think like my initial thoughts of what the movie was going to be, like it was like different. But like now going back into it, like knowing what the movie is and what was put into the work that behind the scenes and all that, it definitely makes the movie more impressive. And I guess for reactions, for speaking of behind the scenes, for reactions from the actors, the director literally took a fucking shotgun and would shoot it next to the head just to get like a surprise reaction. Like he would just shoot off firearms just to get them to like visceral react.
The
And like,
fuck?
yeah,
They're in the building.
there's the point where Reagan, I think, hits her mother like across the room, and she falls down. Like I think they actually like really hit her, like really pushed her. Like they did something.
Yeah,
was,
like that was a real slap.
Yeah, and she fell on the ground. I think like she swore at the director like immediately, like they cut it right before she like freaked out on set, like willingly slow. I mean, like definitely like it's understandably so. Like I could understand why she would freak out over that, and like they really went to the 10th degree to make this movie, and like the cold breath of their, like when they're inside, they couldn't CGI it that back in 1973, so they had to bring the degrees down to like low 40s to have that visceral breath coming out. Just like the demon created the environment to be a very cold environment, and yeah, they really put a lot into the behind the scenes
like
in the making of this movie.
Just everything about this movie is just every check mark has been checked twice, if not 3 times.
Yeah.
The amount of effort, not even just the method acting, but just the body acting that everyone's doing. And also the fact you're seeing so many points of view instead of it just, okay, we're going to just tunnel vision on this person and this person alone. You see like, okay, the older priest, he's been over in Iraq. He's been around this statue, so he knows what's going on. He has the idea. Then you have the young priest. He's talking to his friend. Man, I don't want to be a priest anymore. I've lost my faith. My mom is sick. And I'm not feeling what I'm doing. I don't believe it anymore. And then, you have the mother and the daughter. They're literally they're like the most stereotypical family. They go out, they have fun. The daughter's like, Mom, when we move and when our house is finished, I want a pony. And she's like, a pony?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's such a normal just environment, normal family. And, obviously the mother and the dad are divorced or, separated some kind of way because
I remember it's her birthday in the beginning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was like, do you still love, my dad? And she's like, even though we're not together, he's always going to have a special place in my heart. And then, not even 15 minutes later, she's on the phone with the opera saying, get this son of a bitch on the phone right now. It's his fucking daughter's birthday, and he can't even bother to wish her a happy birthday. That lazy piece of garbage. I can't believe I was married to this, piece of human trash. And it's just all these contrasts, all the emotion of watching, the mother just like, what's wrong with my daughter? She's hearing these rats in the attic, and it's like her groundskeeper's like, there's no rats. I do good. No rats. No rats. Maybe but no rats. And then she goes in the attic and she just hears that scurrying and knocking, and she's just like, I know something's up there. And she just, she can't find it. And he's like, he tells her, I told you. And then definitely the scene for me was when and this was probably one of my favorites, was more so toward the end of the possession, before they did the makeup and everything on the daughter, was when Father Damien brought in his recorder and was like, he was asking her all these different questions and all these different things because he himself also did not believe it until he just started looking more and more into it and is like, okay, maybe there is something to, spirituality, and there's more to than just, mental disease and illness. And he was starting to believe like there is, something else out there. And I'm not going to say it renewed his faith, but it definitely, he had some self-actualization, like, all these self-doubts and uncertainties I had were, not unprofound, but they definitely don't hang up in this situation. This kid's speaking perfect Latin. She's talking Latin in reverse. She's doing all these things that a regular, 13-year-old girl would know. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially like all the sexual stuff that she gets into about people,
I don't like
mothers doing stuff in hell, and the stuff with the cross, like the actress Linda Blair, like she didn't know what was going on, so like I think they told her on set, like I don't know, I think they just like with the cross, like she would just like put in a box or something, like she didn't know the implications of what she was doing, so like they did like something very like simple and wholesome for like shooting it, so she didn't like get emotionally damaged later on in life.
And look at her now.
She's still saying those lines, like all those swearing and everything, and she was able to separate, like, oh, that's not that's not me, that's Regan, that's not Linda Blair. And the voice when she becomes the demon, like is fully embodied, was they didn't want the voice to sound either male or female, but they hired an actress who like was a chain smoker, so like the voice was kind of very gritty and had that gravitas to it, so that's why it sounded like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was listening to it. I'm like, this sounds like a chain smoker. Because it was that real low raspiness, like, hey, what are you doing there, boy?
Exactly.
Definitely 6 packs a day, if you know what I mean.
God.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was just looking up the name of the actress. I'm gonna butcher this.
The voice
Mercedes. Mercedes McCambridge was her name. So just wanted to give her due credit.
Thank you for the nightmares.
Yeah.
But it, I figure we're probably close to final thoughts and review. And so I know I told Crispy this. So Crispy, you don't have to worry about it this time. So Josh, what do you think this movie grossed in 1974? And what do you think it's grossed now?
1974. I think I remember I was looking up behind the scenes like while before like when we did the initial recording. So I don't remember. No, I'm not looking it up. I think the budget was like 30 million, maybe actually probably less. I'm just gonna say it made 30 million. That's the first number that came in my head.
So the budget for the movie was 12 million, and in 1974 it grossed 112.3 million dollars. But as of 2019, it has grossed 441.3 million.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it's
and
like one of the movies that everyone knows.
Like when I was, first telling Matt and we were talking about it, I was telling him, I can't believe how it's, essentially made almost 3-4 times what it did back then. And it's still going to keep making money because this movie just, everything about it, you can't, it's even as far as, all of the liberties and some of the loosened restrictions of censorship, you can't get away with that, especially with all the, demonic movies that they've tried to, recreate and, try to make to not necessarily recapture what they had with The Exorcist, but be the next one. You can't, you definitely can't have any kind of slur going on, because that will get you blacklisted from anywhere. And then also the fact, you're dealing with self-mutilation. You've blurred the lines between demonic possession and mental illness. And obviously, psych wards now are, well, I'm not going to say that because I've never been to one, but psych wards now are nothing like they were in the 70s. So you can't, just have people just doing what they were doing back then, currently. So there's just so many just hidden aspects of the movie that added to both the horror and the charm and appeal that nobody else has been able to just even hold a candle to, which I just love to pieces. Because this movie it's such a, I'm not going to say genre defining, but it definitely has set, a gold standard for what you want in a horror movie. You know, some people enjoy a slow burn, some people like it real fast, and some people like all the blood and guts. This was, this was to me a good balance. It was a good pace, even though it was slow. And then, we see what, 1, 2, 3 people die.
Mm.
And when you see partial manifestation of the spirit that's tormenting a child, you're hearing all the voices. It just, everything about this movie is just flawless. And if you don't like this movie, something's wrong with you. Unless you're scared, then there's nothing wrong with being scared. Unless you're scared of spiders and snakes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, with this movie, it has so much of a different like nowadays, movies that try to attempt this stuff that they try to do, it just feels like they fall short with it. Because yeah, they can't do certain things with what Exorcist kind of did, but it just feels like when they do stuff is they use too much CGI, and it kind of takes away from the realistic. Like I said before, all these newer movies are just using so much CGI, it doesn't look right or real. Or it just feels like sometimes when people use actual practical makeup stuff, some people it feels like some people don't know how to apply the right stuff to the people. Sometimes it just feels like it's just a caked on mask sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. It depends how who's doing certain things. And we got Trey. What did he
We're gonna
write
ignore
to us?
that.
We're gonna ignore it. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna. Don't you just get okay? He's soaking it up. He's soaking it up. Yo, okay. No, but it's it's weird. It just doesn't. I haven't felt the same vibes from a movie The Exorcist to any newer movie that I've seen recently, or in slightly in the past. It's I don't know. It doesn't nowadays movies just don't get the same vibes. Do you got one, Josh?
Wait, did you say your review? Is this
no?
This
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. After what Jerry's saying, just I don't get the same vibes from
yeah. No, this
movies.
was hard to even do. This was very hard to do. Well, from what you guys are saying, yeah, this was very hard to do. Even back in the 1973, I think there was a lot more religious people kind of against this movie, especially at the time. Nowadays, you can kind of make any demon movie, and I don't think there'll be people picketing or anything in the streets or going you can't see this movie. I mean, there's always those people. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
there is that grit to 70s film making too, that like it seemed like kind of more realistic and lived in, just because of the limitations that they had at the time. Yeah, so yeah, I guess we'll go into final thoughts. I guess I guess unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
My
No,
God.
I'm gonna go ahead and take us into final thoughts. I had more time to reflect and get my thoughts together. Definitely this movie. It's something. It's one of those movies. If you're a filmmaker or just someone who enjoys cinema in any capacity, this is definitely one of those movies. And we've had several movies that we each of us personally feel is something that everyone must see. But I feel like, to me, this is on the not the same level as Wizard of Oz, but it should be on the same viewing level. The Wizard of Oz, as far to my knowledge, still to this day is the most watched movie of all time, because it was during the Great Depression, and everything else that was going on with it. And for me, The Exorcist is also a movie that everyone should watch at least one time, because of everything that's both said as far as script, but the visual effects, even though they're very minor, but they're still extremely unsettling, and they just leave you with just this pit the whole time, and it doesn't ever leave, because in the back of your mind you're always like, oh man, I don't know how they managed to just excuse me, to just stomach doing this movie, because everything about it was just so hard, from, like we said, the religious aspect, the self-mutilation, the mental illness and grieving and everything. This movie just touched so many things in like 2 hours and 12 minutes. It touched it in 2 hours and some change. And this movie for me is easily 10 out of 10. If for me, I wouldn't like show my kids this movie when they're young. I'd wait till they were like 40 and they're good and grown. But definitely this is a movie you want to give your absolute and full attention to, because there's so many just small and intricate details that you would miss if you just blinked your eye.
You should have. Why didn't you let us become 40 before you recommended this movie?
Because I needed somebody to be in pain with me.
Yeah.
They could have waited until we're 40.
Yeah, we're 40.
We're 40 somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess in space time, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Dimensions, all that stuff. And Latreille, that's sacrilegious that they're making a remake. It's what's it? Jerry stated it was it some like a prequel movie and a couple of sequels.
We're not entirely sure.
We're not sure just yet. They're making more. We just don't know what exactly.
If they remake this movie, they're fucking assholes. Whoever fucking does that, because you can't just remake something that's perfect already, and you can't retell this story the right way in a remake.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy remade Star Wars, and that's Crispy's least favorite movies he's ever watched.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Wow, actually, he said it right. He said it right.
Are they really your least favorite, Matt? Is that true?
The newer movies? They're god awful garbage. They're a dumpster fire.
Are they like the worst movies you ever seen? Like, would you consider it that?
I would never make us watch those movies in my life.
I always mess with Matt about it every so often, just to remind him.
I noticed.
He hurts me and our friend Billy all the time with this. He does this to us all the fucking time.
But that's another story for another day.
Yes. Yes.
God. So I'll just take it. I take the
go ahead.
here. for me, I'm gonna go 10 out of 10. This movie is fucking insane. It's just what the fuck that like I keep saying it in that time period, what they did and how they did it. The execution was amazing.
Whoa.
What the fuck? Oh no! I pulled him. Oh no, but the way they execute, like, what was that creature in the bag? Was that freaking Land Before Time?
It was a Bronchiosaurus.
I
it
can
was
tell, but
Littlefoot.
Do you want to see it?
Oh god, look at those eyes.
It's Littlefoot.
That ain't Littlefoot. That ain't Littlefoot. But no, the way they executed the movie and like the response to this movie is like I haven't 100% seen it like that before. It's just like it's just weird. Like I like how it is just like it's just my lifetime I haven't really lived through something like that really. Like, have you guys like seen a movie that if I missed it, tell me because I haven't seen the response to a movie. Oh, I seen overhyping a movie in ways for the trail for before release. They show those preview trailers of these people are scared shitless fucking trailers and like really it wasn't that bad of a scary movie. But
well, now it's hard. It's hard to do that nowadays because like
Because
there's been so much media that's been out there.
Yeah,
with advertisements and then fan movies that people make. I would say the only time I would definitely say I saw it as an early release before it even like officially had any advertisements. It was a comedy movie about these young kids. I think it's like Good Boys or something. I can't. I have to find it again. That movie and Sausage Party with Seth Rogen.
God damn that
God.
movie. No, God. Speaking of that movie, I literally saw a video on Instagram from that. Oh God.
We're getting a sequel.
No, we're not.
No, let's not
Yes,
talk about
no,
that
we
movie.
don't. But like, I do want to see someone like actually get inspiration from like The Exorcist and try to make a scary movie that gives you the same vibe and chill, but not go to the extent what they did behind the scenes, like Josh told us. But try to give us the same like atmosphere when we watch it. Like, oh shit, this guy definitely got inspired from this. Other than being like told by a trailer, but when you go see the movie, it's definitely a different fucking movie than you're expecting it to be. And some trailers like this person was inspired by these movies, like whatever the fuck it is. But I'm just rambling now.
Mm-hmm. Am I going?
Yeah, I
Yes.
do have one question after Josh's freaking rating. I do have a question for both of you.
I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? I just wanted to say that. It's from Beetlejuice. If you didn't know. I haven't seen it 167
Don't
times.
lie to us now.
I only seen it twice. What?
You already told us the facts. You've seen it over 100 times now. It's canon.
Yes. Anyway, this movie's a very well made movie. I think I'll probably enjoy it more. The more I watch it, the more I'll enjoy it. It's not. This movie isn't really like my cup of tea personally. Like, it's a good movie. It's a well made movie, but I wouldn't go like, yeah, I really want to watch The Exorcist right now. But that being said, I definitely would watch it again in the future. It's just one of those movies you have to be in the right mood for. Like, And I recommend watching it with someone. I wouldn't really watch this by myself. Like I would want to anyway. I would probably give this movie an 8. It's a well-made movie. It's just not like personally like my kind of movie I would like just flip on. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's an easy watch. It's not like a movie I would put on anytime. So, yeah. That's about all I have to say about this movie.
No, Trey, we're not gonna repeat the lines that she said with the cross. No.
That's for That's for our after
Crispy. You said you had a question.
I have a question for both of you. Have you guys ever played with a Ouija board before?
No.
I just want to ask.
Yeah.
No.
You have?
I have, yeah.
Okay. What was your experience? Yeah. We played with makeshift ones. Actually, technically, it was weird. They had some weird doings. But how'd yours go?
So, okay, I'll explain it. It wasn't mine. It wasn't any of my family's. I was in high school. It was in my house because it was my brother's girlfriend at the time's Ouija board. I don't know why it was there. It was like literally made by Hasbro, and it was me and my friend. Me and my friend were like, oh, let's see what the fuck this does, So we just like set it up. We turned off all the lights and put on candles. And then, we were touching this stupid thing, and it did absolutely nothing. I mean, we're asking, stupid questions. We're asking, "Oh, does this girl at school think I'm hot? Yes or no?" Stupid shit like that. And it didn't say anything. I mean, obviously, it didn't fucking work. So, we just ripped it in half and threw it in the garbage.
Oh, God. You broke a rule of the Ouija. What the fuck?
We broke it. So
you're supposed to burn the Ouija boards.
I mean, they burned it when they put it in the incinerator at the garbage dump.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It didn't work. Nothing happened. I don't know. No, you guys still look at me like
we're reading. We're reading the comments, and it's just.
No, I'm just like.
That's white people shit. Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't even. It was just fucking there. I was like, oh fuck it, we'll try it out. It was.
Oh God.
It was. It was my brother's girlfriend. Like, why is this here? Why do we have this? All right, fuck it. Let's try it.
Knowing my luck, I'd probably summon Osmodeus, and I'd be fucking starting the apocalypse if I did one.
Next episode, Jerry gets a Ouija board.
No.
It didn't answer me. It didn't tell me if this girl thought I was hot in high school. It didn't tell me.
God.
Well, yeah, Josh. She thinks you're hot, all right. Damn it.
Yeah.
If you want to find out, you come down with me to hell.
Honestly, the thing's fucking made. It's made by Hasbro. Like it says fucking Hasbro on it. It's like it's not,
no, like Hasbro. Like no, like they were like the. Like, this literally was so. Like no, like Ouija boards literally got started because of that. That was.
Apparently, it was like a big pastime, like back in the 50s. It's like kids would do back in the 50s.
Yeah, because it was a toy. It was literally made to just be sold out. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it works. I think whoever claims they work, they're just bullshitting you. But you don't have to. You don't have to play it. I would rather not.
So we're gonna just end this Ouija board talk. Matt, you want to give us your picks?
Oh, my picks. Okay, so my picks is gonna be for our next podcast, I believe. Are gonna be the first and second episode of Licorice Recoil, and then the main event's gonna be John Wick, the first movie.
The first one?
Yes.
Okay.
I never seen any of it. I never seen any John Wick anything.
That's why we're starting with the first one. I would
All
rather
right.
go to the second one, but I'd rather start with the first one because the first one's where it all began, and it's still crazy. I personally like the
That's
second
cool.
one. I still need to see the third one and the fourth one, but
Okay.
What's
Now,
the
where
first?
can I buy licorice?
Yeah.
Licorice Recoil is
Licorice?
on Crunchyroll, and it's about basically some crazy ass was it how do I explain it? Behind the
Crunchyroll
scenes
doesn't sell licorice.
Licorice. I can't just say it, right? I give up.
How do you spell licorice?
Oh, I'm just gonna just cover up the screen with this little thing.
Dragon
Is that a
Ball.
stamp?
No, actually, I've been ripping up this thing, and I'm getting this perfectly just cut out of this Goku, and he's like fist bumping Krillin.
Nice.
So wait,
Yeah.
what's licorice? It's an anime. What is
It's
it?
an anime.
What episode?
First and second.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you don't
So
want
if
to
you
be
guys don't want-
spoiled for licorice, Black.
Alright.
If you don't want to be spoiled for thing I can't pronounce, licorice and John Wick, make sure you watch it before the next same Batyard time, same Batyard place.
Yeah.
Damn
Um,
straight.
This is Josh sending you off up until next Batyard's finest episode.
And this is Superman's pal Matt.
And I want to thank you for joining us on this exhilarating journey through the realms of human excellence on Batyard's Finest. We hope that each episode has ignited your passion, expanded your horizons, and inspired you to embrace your own potential for greatness. As we conclude this episode, we want to express our gratitude to our incredible hosts who shared their remarkable stories with us. Their unwavering determination, resilience, and relentless pursuit of their dreams have left an indelible mark on our hearts and minds. We are humbled and honored to have had the opportunity to bring our narratives to you, our cherished listeners. We also extend our deepest appreciation to you, our dedicated audience, for embarking on this extraordinary adventure with us. Your support and engagement have been the fuel that propel us forward, pushing us to uncover and amplify the stories that deserve to be heard. But fear not, for our journey doesn't end here. We will continue to seek out the untold stories, the unsung heroes, and the hidden gems that exemplify the heights of human achievement. We will return with a new episode, ready to immerse you in more captivating tales of triumph and inspiration. Remember, greatness resides within each of us, waiting to be unleashed. So as we part ways for now, carry the spirit of Batyard's Finest with you. Let it serve as a constant reminder that you have the power to overcome obstacles, defy expectations, and leave an indelible mark on the world. Thank you again for joining us on Batyard's Finest. Until we meet again, I'm Jerry, your Green Lantern from Ola, guiding you all with Green Lantern's light. Keep striving for excellence and continue to embrace the extraordinary within you.
Wow, I couldn't say it better myself. That sounds like the radio show PSAs, like from like the Superman.
I've actually
radio
been practicing that.
Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how. Like, I'm like happy that you did that, and I'm like annoyed that I'm like he outshowed us. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I
I've
just
been
have
listening
one
to-
line.
I actually have been listening to more of the like old time radios. So I've been
Oh,
kind of
that's cool.
practicing my voice in some of my different ranges.
That's what it
So I've
sounds
been-
like. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've been doing a little bit of practice behind the scenes, and I'm glad to finally
Oh,
kind of
cool.
showcase it.
Yeah. No,
But
that's cool.
Good
Yeah,
night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Good night.